right. The Sports Hit List, ladies and gentlemen, by the fans and for the fans. Carl Coulange here. We have a very special guest. For the first time in Sports Hit List history, we have a Super Bowl champion from Super Bowl 45, Green Bay Packer, Pat Lee. Pat, thank you for coming on to the show. We really appreciate it.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Appreciate y'all for inviting me, man. Thank you.
Let me introduce the rest of my Sports Hit List colleagues. We have Rick, who's also a Florida native. Rick, how you doing, bro?
Good. Hey, you killing me with the native, man. I'm a Florida resident now. I'm a New York native, but a Florida resident.
All right, cool. We have the commissioner, self-proclaimed commissioner of the Sports Hit List, Mr. Ray. Ray, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. I love that name. I love it every time I hear it.
And we have the baseball guy who came prepared for football today. He's very diverse. Greg Polius is in the building. Greg, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Got to be multifaceted in this era. Can't just be
So, Pat, the first question I want to ask you is, over the last 4 months, we've been dealing with a pandemic. We've also dealt with the death of George Floyd. How are you and your family coping with everything that's going on in the world today?
Man, we've been staying put, dealing with the pandemic, staying safe, staying healthy. I've been working out my kids, just more involved with them. I've been so-called kind of a teacher as well the last couple of months of school. It was kind of tough for us, though. That was like the hardest thing I had to do, be a teacher, basically teaching those kids, because that was a rough period of time. I don't know how they do it. I commend them. I don't know how they do it. I can't do it. That's not for me at all. And, George Floyd, man, that was just not something that was not cool at all, man. Like, I still get chills hearing that and seeing that and people talking about it. My background was a little rough and stuff like that. So dealing with certain things with the police and stuff, like I get a little terrified because my first introduction with police was not pretty at all. So, and basically meeting a cop for the first time my incident was probably around when I was like 8 or 9 years old. And first thing with a cop was a pistol to my head. So I'm kind of terrified with certain things like that. So, I try to stay put, but I always give my support. I try to help everybody, try to help who needs help and try to support with everything with that, what's going on with that, of course.
That's so heartbreaking to hear, man. And I truly hope that your family and everyone is staying safe and with everything going on.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Rick, you had a question, so we're going to go around the room. You guys get a question. So go ahead, Rick.
Yeah, I'm actually going to jump in. So you touched up on, your upbringing and whatnot, being from, the Miami area. We all know how well-renowned that area is for just amazing talent, specifically in football and whatnot. So I was curious, like growing up, like I know everybody doesn't make it, and there's always those kids that are like, man, that kid's going to make it, that kid's going to make it. So, can you think of, one or two maybe of those guys growing up that everybody knew for sure, hey, that's going to be the one, and maybe for whatever reason or not, didn't necessarily make it up to that NFL level?
Oh, man, yeah, there was a whole bunch of kids that was way past my level that I thought they were going to be that one and still got, influenced and basically drawn to that other stuff to basically slow them down on their process and stuff like that. There's some guys, I don't want to drop names because, you don't want to really drop names on my boys like that. I'm still cool with them to this day, even though their journey got stopped short because of things what they was doing. But the thing what I did was stay on my path. I stayed on the right path. I stayed straight. Miami is all crazy. You got all those talent. You got the talented kids out there, man. They're just ballers. My journey was kind of rough, because I started off playing O-line, D-line when I played Little League football. And my parents are Jamaican, their background and stuff. So football wasn't their thing. It was soccer. So my whole family, I'm the only one that played football. So coming over, when they came over and stuff like that from Jamaica, and I was born in Miami, Florida and stuff like that, we started off Little League football. And normally when you playing Little League football and stuff, you have parents out there that's coaching their kids on the team and stuff. My parents not even there. So it's like I'm out there just grinding on my own. So basically they stuck me on O-line and D-line. So I was the center, and I was nose guard all the way up to like 15 years old. Because it was like Little League football. So then when I got to Christopher Columbus, I was able to transition over to playing quarterback and running back, because it was something where they gave me opportunity, like, hey, what positions you play and this and that. Where Little League, it wasn't all that. It was all about who's familiar, who been around football the longest, who family member is on the coaching staff or something like that.
Politics of it all.
Yeah. So, you know, it was kind of rough back then, but when I got to Columbus, I dominated. I was able to play quarterback, running back. I was able to play on defense at corner and stuff like that. So, also, Columbus was an all-boys school, which kept me on track. You know, it was uniform. It was like discipline and stuff like that. So, it kept me on track. It kept me away from all the girls, all the distractions and stuff like that. I didn't have to worry about, you know, washing my ass every damn day, just a girl, you know. I'm just being real. Just being real. I had to throw that out. You know,
we definitely
I wasn't worried about no lotion or iron in my shirt. It was uniform, so it was just go to class. Hey, it was, you know, go to class, get your grades, grind, and go out there and play ball, you know. And that's what it was. And it was a great opportunity for me because it got me over to Auburn.
Yeah.
We definitely understand with the parents from the West Indians, because we have two other Haitians. I'm Haitian, Ray is Haitian, Rick is Haitian, and Greg is from Trinidad. So we understand the culture of soccer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Real football. Not put both of them in there, Carl. You're better than that.
Say it again. Say it again, Greg.
You can't put one and leave the other. You got to put the Lucian side too.
I apologize, Greg. I'm so sorry. I forgot, man, because I normally see you repping the Trinity side. I apologize about that. I'm so sorry.
Especially since the Lucian side is closer to the Haitians. You know, I'm
so sorry. I'm so sorry, Greg. Ray, do you have a question for Pat? Go ahead.
Yes. You know, one of my favorite college football players is Charles Woodson, and I know you played with him. I just want to know, what did you learn? Did he help you out with anything? Just anything. What did you learn with just being on the same team, going to the same meeting rooms as the great Heisman winner, Charles Woodson?
You know, with him, all right, so stepping out there to Green Bay the first time seeing him, I was shocked. Now, I'd never been like that with anybody except Michael Jordan. I don't know if y'all could vouch for me on that one. Michael Jordan, you see Michael Jordan, you gonna scream like, hey, you gonna do all that, you know? When I saw him, it was like, all right, I'm on the field with him. He's my teammate. It was like, you know, wow, look at this dude. Like, what he, like, you know, how many years he played already and what he has done. Like, he won the Heisman and stuff like that. Like, wow, it was just, he's right here. Yeah. So, in my mind, I was like, you know what, I got to study this dude. But I had two dudes to study as well, too. I had Al Harris as well.
Yeah.
I had two, but Charles Woodson, I was like, I'm going to study him. So he was a professional, man. Professional. He studied the game. And if you needed help, he would help you study the game. The way he carried himself, he took care of his body. He's always in the playbook. He's always with the coaches, understanding, trying to talk game and this and that. Mm-hmm. So it was like seeing that presence, seeing that leader, because he was the leader of our team. Like, hands down, he was the leader. It was Aaron Rodgers, nobody, no. It was Charles Woodson, the leader of the team. Like, his words are engraved in the Super Bowl ring. One mind, one goal, one purpose, one heartbeat. It's engraved in the ring because he did a speech in the playoffs. And basically he wowed everybody and he put us on this level where we couldn't be beat because we was listening to him. We was watching him. We was doing everything what he was doing. Like, you know, he was letting us know, if you stay on the right path with these coaches and understand the game and do the right things that you need to do and be a teammate and stay together, Super Bowl is going to be here. And that's what he did. He took us there, man.
Oh.
Greg?
Yeah, that's dope whenever you can hear stories like that, you know, especially that you played with him. That's really cool.
Yeah.
You were a second-round draft pick. What are some of the expectations placed on first and second-round draft picks coming into camp?
Oh man, I was mad that they drafted me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, because I mean, I'm stepping in the door with Hall of Famers. You got Charles Woodson and Al Harris. Like, I'm coming in just snatching that spot right away. Nah, it wasn't gonna be like that. They already locked it down. They had the contracts. It was their spot. So I was kind of upset, but you know, learning from them guys, it was great. So it was kind of tough for me because I wanted to show what I could do right away. But I felt like those two guys was in the way, of course. and injuries jumped on me right away my rookie year. I tore my MCL and stuff like that. It slowed me down. So I was kind of a little depressed. I'm not going to lie. I'm just being honest with y'all. It put me in a little slump a little bit because, you know, coming in second round, talking I could play right away and this and that, which I did play right away. I was in the nickel position and stuff like that. And I played the first 5 games, but I tore my MCL against the New Orleans Saints. And that's what slowed me down. So I went into a little slump. And then the next year, my sophomore year, I ruptured a disc in my back again during training camp before preseason even started. And I ended up coming back the last preseason game after, you know, I got a little well and stuff. And I was like, man, I got to play. It's my second year. I haven't played since the 5th game of the season last year. And I ended up coming back and ended up having an awesome game against Tennessee, the last preseason game. And I did kickoff return. And, man, I had a good old return, man. I was running that ball, and the kicker caught me in my knee. I didn't go down, but he hyperextended my knee, and I bruised the bones. And I was on IR for the rest of the season again. That's tough. It was rough, man. You know, people always say, you know, football is rough. It's a rough sport where, you know, keeping your job and this and that. It's not even about only that. It's keeping your health.
Yeah.
You know, you could go out there and play one game and blow your whole knee out or break your neck or something like that, you know. And it was unfortunate because I felt like I could have been a great player because I was trying to chase the gold jacket. But you know, it was just, things just came. It just hit me. You know, it makes me a better person, and especially to help out other kids and mentor them and let them understand that, like, you know, you can still make it in this world or transition into other things if you want, even though you're dealing with stuff, because football is not for long.
Kamish, you have another question?
What's one thing that you would tell all the up-and-coming rookies not to do when they get in the league?
What not to do?
The Kamish with the hard questions.
That's a good question. What not to do? Don't be lazy. Don't be lazy. Speak up. Speak up. Speak up, because there's going to be a point where coaches will, you know, talk to you. I mean, every player looks at the coach as their leader in their locker room. So sometimes a coach will come at you in a way, and they might not say everything that is truthful or whatever, this and that, to the head man above. So don't hold your peace. You know, speak up. Speak up sometimes. Just speak up. Just speak up. Don't be afraid, because it'll help you out.
Rick?
So I've always been curious about what the recruiting process looks like for high-level athletes. So I was curious, especially, you know, being a Florida kid, being a Miami kid, what did your entire recruiting process kind of look like? Specifically, how involved were the in-state schools, you know, Miami, Florida State, Florida, and then what ultimately led you to choosing Auburn?
Well, like, again, I say, you know, my background was kind of a little rough, my parents and stuff, and we was going back and forth to certain places, because I used to live in New York too, East Brooklyn, Flatbush.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Now we talking. East Coast. Okay.
So it was a little rough there, man, at the times, man. We had some little incidents there when I was living there, so it was kind of rough at the time. But, you know, the recruiting process, it was It was interesting. I had Rutgers, I had Georgia, I had NC State. The Florida boys, I really wanted to get out of Florida. That's why I brought up my background. I really wanted to get out of Florida because of my background. So, my parents' situation, it was like a little kind of dangerous. I was like, man, let me get out of this situation. So I told all the Florida schools, like, I don't want to go to Florida. I don't want to go to no Florida schools. So I really wanted to get out of Florida. So that's why I wasn't really getting highly recruited by Florida schools, except for Florida. University of Florida, there was one guy, his name was Red, something like that. He had like some little itching problem because he kept itching a lot. But I remember him, he was recruiting me heavy, and I told him, man, I'm not staying in Florida at all. I just wanted to get out of Florida, meet new people, and I'll come back and visit Florida.
Greg?
It was better for me.
Yeah, recruiting could be fun and stressful at the same time.
Yeah.
So kind of thinking back to your NFL career, who would you say was your toughest one-on-one match?
The toughest one-on-one match, I had some great receivers. What I went against when I was playing at Green Bay, because we had Greg Jennings, we had Jermichael Finley, Jordy Nelson, James Jones, Randall Cobb, Donald Driver. So these guys I'm going against every single day, which are top dudes. Like, won a Super Bowl with these guys. But I'll say Percy Harvin. Percy Harvin, he's all over the field, wide receiver, running back, slot, all that stuff. He's doing everything, and he's fast. He's good. He's a good athlete. He get the ball in his hand, he's magic.
I didn't see that coming, but
yeah.
Rick, your final question.
Well, we've been talking here on this panel and whatnot throughout our little group. We've been having a lot of Mount Rushmore conversations. So we're going to attempt to put you on the spot here, and we're going to try to get you to give us your top 4 DBs all time, your favorite DBs, whether it be cornerback, safety. Who are your 4 guys from the NFL all time?
All time. Deion, of course.
My man. Number 1. See?
Deion number one. Deion number 1, right?
Uh-huh.
I played with Woodson, of course. Ed Reed.
Mm-hmm.
I got to go with Ed Reed.
Good.
And my boy Sean T.
Sean
Taylor. S-Dot. You got to go.
I don't think Sean made our list. He did not make our list.
And I thought about it too. I almost put him on mine and I didn't, but good call.
He did not make our list. He did not make.
I'm not mad at the Sean Taylor.
Yeah.
You'd had, Sean would have played 12 years in the league. Gold Jacket, of course.
Savage. Yup. Savage. You're right. That's a good list, though. That's a good list. That's 3 of my guys on there, so I'll take it.
Commish, your final question.
All right, man. You had one game to play, to replay. Which was going to be the Iron Bowl or the Super Bowl?
Woo! That's the second hardest question. That's the second hardest question, Commish.
That's what he's Commish.
Hey, you hit me with that one. I'm going to have to go to Super Bowl, because, my family knows about the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They didn't really know about the Iron Bowl and stuff like that. So I was just being honest. They didn't know about that, the background. They just didn't know. So, my dad did something my rookie year. So my rookie year, at the end of the season, I was on IR, of course. At the end of the season, we was able to go home and stuff. And they offered us each player 2 tickets for the Super Bowl. And I got the tickets. I was like, man, I'm going to take my dad to the Super Bowl. He never been, so I'm going to take him. And, man, I go down to Miami. I hand my dad the 2 tickets. I was like, hey, we're going to the Super Bowl. He looked at me. He pushed the tickets back. He was like, man, I'm not going to the Super Bowl unless you're playing in the Super Bowl. And then a couple years later, I hand him 4 tickets. Hey, I'm playing in the Super Bowl. Let's go.
That's what's up.
Seeing his expression on the field, because he was able to come down on the field, took a picture with a trophy. He was able to touch it and stuff. Like, my mom, it was just amazing, man. It was amazing. They came a long way coming from the island. You know how it is with island.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
They don't do stuff like that.
Yeah.
They don't see stuff like that.
For
So
sure,
like
for
seeing
sure.
their expression, it was amazing, man. It was
That's
amazing.
I'll say one thing to kind of piggyback off of that as a parent. That's something amazing to hear, man. Shout out to your pops for being able to be like,
man.
if it ain't
For
you,
sure.
I don't care about it. That's what's up.
Yeah, for real.
But
Greg,
one more.
Go
What
ahead.
was your record? What was your record while you was at Auburn? How many times did you beat Alabama?
Never lost.
Hey.
Oh, wow.
Never lost. Never lost, baby.
That's it.
Greg,
That's what's up.
I feel like the commission threw that in there to dig at
He thought he had something. He thought he had something. He got the wrong one.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Greg, what's your final question?
So it's kind of a two-parter. It actually came up as you were talking. One, what was it like playing in Lambeau Field? Because there's a lot of history behind that. And two, the second part of that question is, does Aaron Rodgers get a fair shake in the media with you guys? What's your take on that?
All right, so Lambeau Field was amazing. Amazing. Like, beautiful place. People take care of you. To the point where one time my truck got stuck on the way to the stadium for practice, 5 a.m. And I'm sitting there like, I'm about to get fined because I am stuck in the snow. I'm not going to make it there. They're going to get my check. And all of a sudden I see 3 people with snowsuits on and shovels. And they knew who I was. They was like, Pat, we got you. Started shoveling. I'm coming out my truck to try to help them. They was like, no, stay in. You're going to practice. Pushed me out, got me to the stadium, and I was good. I ain't get fined or nothing. So I'm like, man, I love Green Bay for that. You know, they just always show love. Nah, Aaron, in the media, they don't treat it fair. Like he's a cool dude, man. Awesome guy, down to earth. Will chill with you, will hang with you, with your family and everything, man. Buy you drinks or whatever, do whatever with you, man. He low key, good person, like playing jokes with you. You know, I did pranks with him and stuff like that, going back and forth, man. Just all around great character, man.
Did you ever get to do the Lambeau leap? I know you had to have done it.
Nah, man, I wish I did, man. I wish I did. I had one chance against the Chiefs one time. I picked up like I think it was like a strip fumble or something like that. And my boy Brandon Albert, we had the same agent, Todd France. Brandon Albert, man, he caught me. He caught me in the last second, man. Big old lineman. So he caught me. I was like probably 20 yards away. So.
My final question for you is: now you've been 8 years removed from playing professional football. What has your post-career been like? Just retirement life. Are you still involved with the NFL? Do you watch every Sunday? What have you been doing the last 8 years just to keep up your time?
I've been, doing high school football, coaching high school football, and also mentoring a couple kids that's in college. I got one at Syracuse, one at Stony Brook, some other ones that's up and coming too. But I've been helping them out, giving them all the knowledge that I can and working them out and doing stuff like that. And then at the high school, I stopped coaching this year because I got a project going on with 2 other my friends to try to develop an app to help out athletes even more, to, get their sponsorship going on, get their brand out there more. So we're doing that, and I'll let y'all know more info about that once I get it going. But it's been going well, man. I've been trying to transition, been doing family time and stuff like that. I've been trying to transition well, which has been going well for me. So I'm doing fine.
I hear that, man. That's great. I just have one more.
Go ahead.
That app sounds really amazing, especially given that college players are going to be able to use their likeness to profit off of it now.
Exactly.
Exactly. That's really,
Thank you. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it. It's a good thing because we're going to help out all the athletes instead of the top athletes.
Just one quick final question. Now we've seen a new social distance era, I like to call in sports. The NBA is trying to come back. The MLB is trying to come back. We know football will come back. Do you have any expectations for the NFL that they may not have any fans going into this year? And what will the play be like with COVID restrictions?
It won't be good in them stadiums. There's nobody there. I'm telling you that. You can't have it. There's no momentum swings or nothing like that. So I think they just need to chill and just let it sit for this year or something because there's a lot of stuff going on right now, and a lot of guys getting it. And they keep calling out new guys, and more cases are going up. Just get the athletes healthy and stronger right now, and just hope for a better season next year. That's how I feel. I don't feel like they should be risking all this stuff going on for this right now.
All right. Could you throw us a quick shout out to Sports Hit List? Could you throw us a shout out for us?
Shout out, huh?
Could you throw us a quick shout out? Shout out to the Sports Hit List, to our fans. Could you throw us a quick shout out?
Hey, all right. Sports Hit List, man. Shout out this Pat Lee up here, Super Bowl champ, man. I appreciate y'all inviting me, man. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us on the Sports Hit List by the fans and for the fans. Please make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe on all over social media platforms. Pat, I can't thank you enough for taking the time out of your busy day to join us. We really appreciate it.
All right. I appreciate you, fellas. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. Thank you, man.
All right, fellas.
Cool.